What is up, everybody? It's just me today here on YouTube, and I'm excited because I'm going to be showing you guys something really cool I'm working on, a custom score that we made for our clients. Like, basically, we played all the instruments. We actually took a song that the brothers played, which I'm sure we've all been in that situation as wedding filmmakers, where some family member plays a song or something, and you want to find a way to include it in the film, but you kind of want to elevate it. So we wanted to take this song, elevate it, and make it like a seamless cinematic experience. So we're going to show you how we did that. We're also going to review your films. These are viewer submitted films. I have not watched them. If you're a member of the channel, then we're going to do the whole film. And if you're not a member, why the heck not? You're watching it. It's so cheap. You waste $5 all the time on all kinds of ridiculous things. So why not waste it on this ridiculous thing, which is wedding filmmaking education that we're bringing every single week. We got our podcast, so check out the Wedding Film School show. And of course, we try to regularly upload, and we definitely regularly live stream here on our main channel. But anyway, let's get to it. So I want to do a film first, but I want to say, if you guys have films, head over in the chat and also in the description. There is a link to our website where you can submit a film, and basically we're gonna just kind of look at it, and we're gonna say, like, what do we love about the film, what do we think could be improved, and we're always gonna try to look at it from the sense of where the filmmaker is at today. We don't want to be judging things based on simply the best possible wedding film ever. So if you're new, it's a safe space. That being said, you know, I don't have anybody to hold me back today, guys. It's just me. So you might get some full, honest answers here. And so our first film today is by Dylan Brown. And so he, let me just read what he says. So he says, 4 to 5 minute highlight. Let me just, I forgot to hit wrapping on the formatting, so I cannot read this. Here we go. 2 A7S3s. It was a really fun day, solo shooter, so I was running around trying to catch everything that I could. I loved just a general review of the video. So we'll give a general review of the video. Hey, Night in Nostalgia wedding film. Here we go. Let's check out the film. This was a 4 to 5 minute highlight film, all day coverage, $1,800. Hey, I'd love to know how long you've been at this, Dylan. How long you've been making wedding films? I think that would be great to know, because I think that's also super relevant to what makes a film good and how to give you feedback, knowing how far in your journey you are as a wedding filmmaker. So let me get this over here on the screen, because... and hopefully this thing is actually playing today. So let me know, guys, if you can hear this and how it sounds. Let's see.
Take you.
Sound good? Seems good to me. What's up, Brandon? We're going to get to your film today too, actually. So, all right. So, cool font, a little big, but cool. So here we go.
I, Jenna, take you, Drake, to be my husband.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
For richer or for poorer.
For richer or for poor.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Until death do us part.
Until death do us part.
Amen.
Okay. Is everybody ready? Is everybody ready?
Something's going on.
Okay.
Where is this other thing?
Welcome,
playing?
everyone. I'm Robin, Henry's mom.
Whoa. I know what's going on. Sorry, guys. I have this thing playing endlessly in the background. So let me turn this off.
Now,
Don't
we
play.
often wonder if two souls are
Oh
destined.
no, it's frozen.
A girl from the West Coast who spent hours of her childhood playing The Sims,
I'm just
worked
gonna
at
force-
Abercrombie.
Force quit it. All right. Here's your film now. Sorry about that, guys. Back to where we were.
You look stunning.
Look at the stars high above. That's where we will go. Way far beyond this tired world, into the future.
Wow.
Chemistry class, Caledonia High School, but I thought he had a crush on my seat partner.
And she always thought I was weird and
At our high school, it was common that the football players ask you to wear their number.
so I asked her to do that. I texted her actually, and I didn't get a response for a little bit, and I found out later that actually her grandma was in town.
My grandma was in town and she said if a nice young man asks you, then you should do it. And I did it, so the rest is history after that.
I have a couple friends and her grandma to thank for bringing us together.
Once in a lifetime.
Okay, we're gonna skip a little bit. We members, we do the full film. Everyone else, we skip a little bit. So I think that was some good establishing stuff that you did. Interviews, a lot of handheld, which I'm kind of digging. But let's see how this thing kind of wraps up here. This wedding.
A lot of us have been waiting for this day for a long time.
But the best thing Jenna's given Drake is a sense of style and a new wardrobe.
And I asked him if there was any piece of advice he could give me for the rest of my life, what would it be? And Drake musters up the words to say, "Don't be stupid."
I know Mom hopes has lots and lots of babies, but we'll have to see what happens.
Jenna played volleyball, so I played volleyball. And anything that Jenna was involved in high school, I do that too. And lastly, Jenna loves Drake.
All right,
So
let's
do
move forward a
I.
little bit more.
But if I can call you, I'll be okay.
I'm noticing a lot of white balance issues throughout the film. Just there is blue uplighting, which sucks, which is why you need bright lights, because I had the DJ battle last week. See, like right here, it looks fine because you're styled. But I always find like the first dance, for me personally at least, I want it to have natural tones on the dress and natural tones on the skin. And then once we get to the dance floor, to me, I want to see where that transition is. Okay. Let's see how this ends. See the ending kind of moments. All right. So, I think I have enough here to kind of give you some feedback. So, here we go. So, a couple things. This intro font is pretty nice, but I honestly, I think it's Yeah, the everyone tag, unfortunately, in Facebook. It's the only way to get people. But I think you have a lot of text at the beginning. It's way too much text and too long. And that's just my feedback on that. But in general, I think the film is paced pretty well. I'm kind of dig a lot of the handheld motion and a lot of that stuff. I think the way you were approaching it, it looks nice. I can tell that you are trying to have a very certain style and feel like you're there, right? Which I think it's always cool when people do that, and when they do it well, especially. And so I think that's great. I think it looks good. And a lot of very solid portrait work with the couple. I think you also got a lot of coverage. Like, you got a lot of different creative elements. You know, you got interviews in there. You got all kinds of just, honestly, the story is really good in the film. Like, you have, as much as I do struggle a little bit with just kind of, and I don't mean this to dismiss people's vows, because having classic vows is not bad. But when you look at it, it's like, they're generic. Like, there's nothing very unique about those vows. They're just the typical vows that you would see at a wedding. And so kind of starting with that, you know, could be a little anticlimactic, but I do think you gave it room to breathe and there was real emotion there. And so I felt grounded in that story. And I felt like throughout the film, you were grounding me. Like, whether it, like when I felt like it was getting a little too serious, I think you kind of put a little bit of lightness and humor. And I think this is an important thing. If you're a wedding filmmaker and you're editing wedding films, one of the things you got to do is realize it's a celebration. And I know we all like the drama and we like to pull in the drama, but whether it be a sense of fun or a sense of connection, lightness, it can't feel overly heavy. It has to be romantic or personal or homey or straight up just silly and fun. All those need to be part of a wedding film. There's drama, and then there's also this connection and this like a family coming together. And I felt like you did a good job with that. So good stuff. I think there's a couple of things you can work on. Mainly, I think you presented like lots of text, lots of different logos. This logo back here honestly does not work for me. Like, it does not. If I was watching this handheld style, pay somebody to do something cool for you. This looks like just something you made in Microsoft Word. So go pay somebody, get some solid branding done. It'll be worth it for you. I think the intro for me does, minus the fact that I do like your inclusion of the vows and the way you included it, the like long logo, the multiple titles, this black and white shot out of nowhere. The intro just didn't work for me. These interviews also don't work for me. And it looks like she, you know, I noticed this stuff, and like, I don't want to be poking at anyone, and I could be wrong here, but it looks like she's wearing Invisalign. And I would say if you're doing an interview with someone, you need to have them remove their Invisalign, because it's not as favorable. You need lights. Like, you should, if you're gonna do these corporate style interviews, you need to do lights. You need or something. It's not white balanced correctly, and then the audio cutting between the two of them. Like, if you're gonna do it that way and you're not gonna mic up the bride the same way, this is a key thing in interviews. When you're doing corporate interviews, is that everyone in the interview segment, all the people sound the same. If there's anyone in the interview segment that doesn't have the same sound, it is very, very disruptive and super challenging to listen to, and you don't want that. So I think I listened to that, and I would say that to me was disruptive to me. And then of course her dress is not white balanced, and I noticed this throughout the film, and it looks like your color grade, but also maybe the way you're shooting it, there is a lot of blue whites throughout the whole film, like almost like that's her real dress color. It's still a little blue for me, by the way, but like, look at here, underexposed and super blue. You know, again, this right here, like, your colors just needs to be more standardized, but also your highlights, you really need to be, you need some lights, because I can see like you're having a hard time. This orange lighting is filling their faces. This blue light is rim lighting them. And if you could have given them some fill from your lights, you could have white balanced the outside and the warmth would have been nice. And so I think you got to get some lights and you got to really work on that. I think if you can improve your lighting and improve your whether it be white balancing or color grading, but just more, I think having accurate whites on wedding dresses is important. I don't believe people want a blue wedding dress in a wedding film. You're onto something. You're a good wedding filmmaker, and I think there's a lot to love here. So good stuff. Good job. Thank you so much for submitting, and I hope you submit again. I want to see where you're headed. So I want to get into this thing first, and then we got a bunch more wedding films that we're going to be critiquing. And hopefully this doesn't crash, because I am on a NAS. But so this is a wedding film that we did a little while ago, and I'm gonna show you guys what they played, and then you can hear what we did. So this is just a live recorded version of what these brothers played, and they played this at this wedding. I'm gonna go to this view. Let's make myself a little bit bigger, because this, to me, I am too small in this frame. So, and let's go to the top, because most of my action is going to happen at the bottom. All right, so this is what they played, and I'm sure we've all been in this situation where a couple has a family member play a song. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad. This was good. It's very Bright Eyes sounding, if you're not familiar, singer-songwritery. And so I was like, I want to include this, because I like to include people's families in films as much as possible. Especially for Huxley Film, which is our boutique product. And so I feel like it has to have that personal touch. So this is what they played. It's not playing back. Man, this is so far not going off without a hitch. So, this is a problem with stupid GarageBand. I'll just play it over here. But yeah, they played this at the wedding, and so this is the boys just playing their song. Just so you can hear what I was working with. And this is just recorded off of just a microphone.
Take a look at this place. It's the place that we made.
So, not bad. They did a good job. And I was like, how do I use this? So, what we did was basically we took the song and we broke it into two parts. The vocals. Or, I'm sorry, just the music. With using vocal.se or Vokai, and then just the vocals. So you're going to notice it sounds a little bit weird, but you can do this. If you go to vokai.se, you can extract vocals if you want. But we turned this. I'll show you in a little bit. Into this.
You love, 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 it's around you. All you have to do is look.
And we turned that into, I gotta make my playback correct. And right over here, we turn that into this.
It's the place that we made. It's the place.
Oh, I gotta turn this off.
Place where you came from. Take a look at this place. Take a walk down. It's the place that we made. It's the place where you came from. No, you don't.
So basically what we did is we extracted the vocals, and what I did was I had to go through and retime all their vocals. So I had to put it on a click, and I had to take their vocals, cut them into pieces, so that they would actually fit the timing that we had, because it was not on time. So I'll show you guys this, because it's a live performance. You're gonna find this often when you do a live performance, that people are not on time. And is that okay? Yeah, it is okay. It's a live performance. This is their vocals. And I basically had to go through and cut all their vocals up, so that way every single thing would actually fit on this click. So you're going to see. So why do we do this? Well, we did this because we wanted to edit over it. We wanted to include it in a piece. And so obviously it needs to be on tempo. And so how did we do it? Well, I took the whole song, I cut it up, and then I made sure I just put a pad over it. I made like a really long, just messing around track. And then we cut together a story edit. So I'm going to show you guys our story edit. We do these a lot. If you are a wedding film editor, I encourage you, story edits, we call them story edits, so you can call them whatever you want. But basically, we take the audio, we lay it all out, and we make a framework. I always call it the spine of the piece, right? Which is showing you kind of what this is going to be and locking yourself into kind of a structure. So these are all like our selects in terms of audio selects. But basically, we did this. And so we included it in the piece. So you're going to hear. I'll play it a little before, because I think it adds context. So we wanted like this epic intro, and the way
you know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams.
So the way we worked on this piece was, we wanted like an interstellar intro. So something really epic, because this is an epic wedding, but part of the problem was we wanted to also make it family and connect it to the family. So, no, I actually just removed their guitar and I played all the guitar, just so you guys know. I played all the guitar, all the bass, all the pads, everything. And I knew I wanted to, so I found something in the same key, which is right here. And we wanted to have this big epic intro, because it's a big epic wedding. It was fancy, but also it's personal. So we shot a lot of mini DV dad cam at this wedding. And when we're going to be editing it, we're going to be including it inside this segment, because we're going epic intro, personal central. Like the middle is going to be right here. It's going to be homey and connected and almost a little loose. And then the next section is going to be very elegant and romantic. And then we're of course going to end with a party. And so we broke it up like that. So I'm going to show you guys how we transition. And this is what you can do. If you can't play music, that's okay. But what you can do is find songs that complement each other. And so you're going to notice this piece right here is overlapping the song we recorded. It's going to sound like the piano in this song is part of this song. And that's kind of on purpose. Listen. So this, the guitar, the pad underneath, that's... Piano is the previous track, guitar is the next track.
Being together, growing together, we share a certainty that family is not an important thing, it's everything.
So we're using all these nice, moments from the rehearsal dinner and all that stuff. But right here, we're gonna pick it up a little bit because, you're gonna notice, by the way, in this film, I'm not sure we have drums one time, but it feels big.
I mean, you all mean so much to all of us. And the fact that you're all here, it's so special. And thank you for coming. It's time for all of us to unite and reunite. I love all you being here, I really do. It's so exciting.
Hey, take a look at this place.
It makes me smile because this couple's gonna watch this film and they're not gonna know that their brother's song is in this film. It's just gonna magically come in. And I think that's the whole point, is when you're a wedding filmmaker, how do you make something surprising for people? Because typically everyone knows what happened. But if you can surprise a couple a little bit, I think, I don't know, that's everything to me. I want to see their face when it comes in. So here comes the mini DV cam, which I think also really grounds it. Next song. It's got me in my feels. That's nice, right? That's nice. This is gonna be beautiful bridal prep. Really still. This bride wanted a romantic film and something that matched her personality. And so it gets big. All this. I do have that concern, which is why I try to ground it. He said, do you ever have a concern? It's only 7. No, this film isn't that long. This film is 7 minutes, which is kind of typical for this type of film for us, a multi-day event. Yeah, I do have that concern, which is why we try to do it in a cool way. I want it to be grounded, but I want it to seem high touch and super luxury and bespoke. I think when you take something personal but it feels bespoke and it feels like it's done for them, like a personal family thing that only their family has. I think that takes it out. So we're going from here. Yeah. Now I zoom it in so you can see the waveforms. So we're going from this song to this song, and I want to show you the transition. So this is a different key. And so this is a thing I want to kind of talk you guys through. Transitioning from totally different vibes to totally different vibes is an art form. And there's a lot of sound design here. We got a riser. We got a hit. We actually took the song and kind of overlapped it over itself so it'd fade out and decay better. We have this sound bed right here, which is just establishing just a nice little sound bed to allow us to bridge the gap between the two songs. And then we added a hit, and adding your own kind of sounds lets you make these transitions. So we're going from here I'm letting this key decay, bringing this riser in. And we're not going straight into the epicness. We're just getting a little bit weird for a second. And what I think is cool is we're referencing "Come with me to a place built for dreaming," which references this line early in the film when he goes,
"You know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams.
So we're taking that line and we're bringing it full circle to this part. And that's just for context, the kind of footage we're going to be putting there. They had a DJ they brought from Miami. So like these people are crowd surfing. Like we're going to save that stuff. We'll probably like flip through it like up here, like and do a bunch of like sound clicky things during the initial kind of crazy interstellar thing, messing around. So we'll probably reference some of this dance floor kind of stuff, but we're gonna let the thing become a party coming up here, and I think it's appropriate. And I wasn't sure what these people were gonna do, and I think this is the thing about storytelling, is, you know, you're working with people and they have many sides, right? They are personal, and like the rehearsal dinner showed us one side, and then you have this entire experience that you go through with the couple, and you're realizing, oh, they're kind of quiet, right? She's a quiet bride. She wants a romantic film. When we talked on the phone, she wants a romantic film. Yet she's on the stage singing. She's crowd surfing with them. They have all this explosions. They have this DJ from Miami. They're not just one thing. And I think kind of transitioning through these, so one thing, I'll get to that, yeah. But transitioning through, I think, this story in a way that feels elevated for this couple. It has to be high end. It can't be tacky. It can't be too on the nose. Everything has to feel sophisticated. People who are like this, they don't want to feel cheesy, you know, but it also can't be out of sync with who they are, and it has to be romantic. It has to be personal and connected. It has to be fun. It has to be epic. All those things were represented in the day. And I think that's kind of why we went with what we went with, because I think if I would have just put their song in there, the brothers' song in there, it wouldn't have surprised them. But when it comes in like this,
it's so special, and thank you for coming. It's time for all of us to unite and reunite. I love all you being here, I really do. It's so exciting.
They're going to be blown away and be totally surprised. And I think that is what we're striving for. If you're watching this edit and you're watching how the thinking was, it's like, if you can take one thing away, is first of all, find songs with complementary keys. Get your audio framework down first, so that way, because the pretty footage, that'll fill itself in. So many people are working end to end on their edits, and instead of, I'm always working outside in. So if we can take this film and we can make it something where we know where the borders are of our story and what the story structure is, we can fill it in with pretty footage. And right here, the film's gonna slow down right here. It's gonna slow down. We synced the dad cam on the tours with all the friends throughout the day. So they're all using mini DV while they're touring Boston. They're doing all this stuff. We have this footage that is sometimes hard to use, which is rehearsal dinner and welcome party. Like, we have to include this in a way that feels cool and doesn't feel like boring. And yet we can save a lot of our more elegant footage for right here. And it's going to let us transition this story in a way that still feels really nice. And actually, the traditional wedding film right here is really only from 3:40 all the way to 7. So we have like a 3.5 minute film with a rehearsal dinner segment and a really sick intro. And I think, that hopefully that was helpful, guys. Like I said, we have this, if you're interested, I can show you some of this track a little bit. I don't know how many people really care about that kind of stuff, but yeah, I mean, so what did he say? Someone asked a question. The filler. Why do we do that? We do this because we want, it's easier to do a lot of overlapping audio without the interfering of the magnetic timeline. Like doing very sophisticated audio editing, having things move around can ruin your whole track. So we want to keep the beginning to the end very, very, very outside of, like, I don't want to do something at the beginning on my edit, Brandon, and then have, and if you're not familiar, by the way, I might be talking, if you don't know, Final Cut Pro has what's called a magnetic timeline, which means like if I delete something, it's going to go thoop, and move everything for you, keep the stuff in sync to whatever it's connected to. It's just, and I know there are other ways you can do this, by the way, Brandon, but we just find this to be the most straightforward way. We will probably, once we have this down, we might make a compound clip, and there's probably a little more mixing we're going to do here, but at that point, we'll probably start doing the magnetic timeline. But initially, when we're doing something like this, we keep it like this because it gives us the ability to build it out, and then we're done. And then we're just kind of filling in B-roll, but it's like your story structure is laid out, and like I already feel the emotion of this film, and this is the key thing, guys. I know it feels bad. Most wedding filmmakers need to realize most of the emotion in your film is in the music. It's not in your shots. It's not in the words that people are saying. It's in the sound design and in the way you use music. That is where it's all about. So, yeah, if you are at all interested in this, this is my bad guitar playing and what we did. Let's see. It's, oh man, that's a little too U2-ish. So you got the click here. And so what I did was we brought in.
And of course, we love celebrating Henry and Lexi. I mean, you all mean so much to all of us. And the fact that you're all here, it's so special. And thank you for coming. It's time for all of us to unite and unite. I love all you being here. I really do. It's so exciting.
So I purposely played like a cheap guitar because I wanted it to sound. The strummer. I don't even know if I use this one. And that's it. That's how we did it. So anyway, guys, hopefully that was a little bit fun, a little bit interesting, because it was interesting to me. And like for me as a wedding filmmaker, it's really easy to get super bored with what you're doing. And honestly, I'm sure if you've been doing this for a while, like when you're early starting out, like everything feels really hard. And that's the fun of it, right? Is like that it is stinking really challenging and it's a tough thing. And like literally something like recording audio the day of is a massive daunting task. But as you do it, like I think finding ways to challenge yourself and push yourself creatively, I think is really what it's all about. And so that's what we wanted to do here. So here's our next film, and it is by, let's see, Felipe Drovo. It says, beautiful outdoor wedding ceremony. Very friendly couple, nothing out of the ordinary in mid-range North Virginia. 2 shooters, A7S III, FX3, ZVE, A7 III, Mini Pro 3 drones, Cinelog, 20 FPV edited and colored in result. FPV, oh my goodness. Let's see how that goes, because the FPV drones, I have very mixed feelings on those in weddings. Although I want one. It'll be fun to fly. So here we go. There we are. There's FPV. How do you guys feel about FPVs? Like, honestly, like, even like the lens distortion on these things bothers me. Like, they seem fun, but I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? I also think, like, when people fly them, they're just like zipping around. Like, they don't have, like, they're not. I think drone shots should be composed. Like, and I feel like they just usually ignore composition and just show you how zippy they can be.
Comes the winter frost, overtakes the valley.
He's like flying around. It's just meh.
Clinging to the earth until spring.
Oh man, I don't think that has the intended effect you were going for with that that thing. It looks like it's taking a leak. That being said, it sounds like I'm ripping on this. The footage looks nice, but I think just kind of I don't like that. That looks like pee.
Breaks free.
I think that's him. I think that's you, dude. I don't think you should. I don't think you should have yourself sitting in your own shot.
Today, they will affirm this bond formally and publicly. This affirmation is made even more memorable and meaningful because it's shared with all of you.
Is that a real person? That sounds like an AI person speaking.
I will listen to you with an open heart and an open mind, offering comfort, understanding, and encouragement. I vow to be your rock, providing you with strength and stability when you need it most.
Love and trust that will withstand. Uh-oh. Who's that?
Sorry for skipping around, guys. I'm just trying to get myself oriented with this. You can't have people kiss like that. You gotta adjust that. Yeah, like watch. They just do it. Like, I don't know if that was slow mo. Like, I'm just. Slow-moing kisses is one of my pet peeves. Too much slow-mo on a kiss. I have no sense of what these people are like at all. All right, I don't need to watch this whole film. Not to... It's so nice looking, too. That's the thing. It's so nice looking. Like... It's beautiful. There's a lot of really beautiful stuff. Okay. Films like this are why I would encourage you to really focus on, first of all, storytelling and also the wedding industry and people, and not just cinematography and filmmaking and making good films, because Yeah, like I can't find the officiant. Like, was he there? Let's try to see if that was the real officiant or if that was like an AI person. Wait, hold on. Here we go. Okay. Oh wow, this might be his real voice. That dude's epic looking.
Make this your bride.
Oh, it was not. Let's. Oh, I hate Vimeo, dude. It's the worst to play back on. It does this crap. I had it, and now it's missing. Where are you? So it's peeking out. So let's go back to where the guy's speaking.
This affirmation is made even more memorable and...
He had him record that in post. No. He had that person record that in post. He said, can you read what you wrote? Yeah. So this is, the audio is peaked. And so, yeah, thank you for the help.
So now, by the power invested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, it's my honor, my privilege, and my joy
it's not that
to
bad.
pronounce you husband and wife. You, sir, make this your bride.
And, all right. Man. Okay, this is what I'm going to say. This is a very talented cinematographer. You are very, very, very good. Really good. Super advanced. I love the color. A lot of the shots you got are really, really nice. This is what... I'm not sure if this is the only film they got or just a teaser. No, it's 4 minutes, so I think it's... I think the... like I said, the color is beautiful. There's so many nice shots throughout this film. I mean, this is a very talented cinematographer, like really good stuff. There's just so much to love about this film. So many incredible moments that just look great. A lot of the editing is very, very nice. Like a lot of it works. I think this is an example though of you wanting to do too much, way too much in the film and the couple. Like it didn't work. The FPV doesn't work to me. There was nothing about this that needed FPV. This needed nice, composed, beautiful drone shots, but it did not need FPV. In fact, I think the focal length on the FPV took away. It looks like fisheye. And then there's stuff like that shot, that's a cheesy shot. You don't need that shot. Like just focusing on the people that you're working with. The whole film to me feels staged. There was nothing about the film that felt real and felt connected to the actual day. And I think I had no sense of who these people were at all. And I really didn't even have a sense of what was going on when I was watching it. I knew that they got ready. I knew that they took some pictures together, and I knew that they had a ceremony and a couple of dances, but it wasn't grounded in a good way. You ground your films in reality. I really believe that this is just me as an editor, me as a storyteller, me as a wedding filmmaker. Grounding your films in reality, I think is really, really important. And I felt like this film just didn't do that for me. And if it was just a little more personal and you let it breathe a little bit more and you didn't jam in so many camera tricks and so many editing tricks and try to make it super, super epic, people have to have I don't want to insult these people at all. That is not what I'm trying to say here, that they were not charismatic or anything negative about them. But people have to have a ton of charisma, and on-camera charisma, not just real-life charisma, to carry an edit like this. And I didn't feel like it just, a lot of it didn't work. I love this stuff, though. It's beautiful. And the other thing I'll say is small critique is a little too much slow-mo. Just too much slow-mo. A few of these moments maybe would have been a lot more rescued and a lot more grounded if they were in 24 frames per second. and not slow-mo, I just felt like it was just so many pose slow-mo moments over and over again, FPV drone, and like shots like this were also beautifully shot. Like, this is really nice. Like, you're covering this really well, dude. Like, this should be part of your film. Like where's the dance floor? Let this thing just connect it to the day more. And I think it's going to be way, way, way better. But I mean, man, you're talented. You are a talented filmmaker. Like, I think just work on the storytelling because you got the chops. You're a great shooter and a very good editor. So good stuff. So, here we go. Here's another film, people. So this film is by Brandon Rice, good buddy Brandon. And he says, great day. I love it if somebody was like, terrible day, worst couple. No, he says, great day. Had filmed 2 of their friends' weddings before, and they referred me. I love that. If you don't know, these are referral trees. If you shoot one friend's wedding, and there's a bunch of... You should be excited about single bridesmaids, not for the reason some people are, but because that means potential future referrals. Like, these are people like that you're going to be the first person on their list if you don't screw it up. So if you do a good job, that's great. And it's great when you they acknowledge that they had a good experience and they love their film and they referred you to other people. Yeah, here's the film. It's, what is this? 5-minute film. So here we go.
Ashley, you sometimes ask me when it was the first moment that I knew that I loved you.
Tasty audio.
Honestly, it was a question I struggled with, but as I stand here today, I think that it's okay because I realized my love for you could never be defined by a single moment in time or place. Me loving you wasn't a prerequisite threshold for me to cross like a finish line. It was just the beginning, because my love for you is infinite. It has no end. It has no limits. It goes on forever.
Sam, I can't believe this day is finally here. I thank God every day that we found each other, just by chance on that warm June night. When I think about it, I can close my eyes and see you again for the first time, standing there with Russ and Ben. I don't remember what you said to me, but I do remember the way that you looked at me that night. I go through life unfazed by how others see me because in a world full of madness, there's simply you. You make being in love the most
We'll go
exciting
get through this audio
segment.
segment.
And for that, I'm forever grateful. It's going to be the biggest honor of my life becoming your wife. Thank you for loving me and choosing to spend eternity with me.
Ashley, you look gorgeous. And I love you very much. Your mother and I are so proud of the woman you have become. You have always been so independent, strong-willed, and spoke your mind even when you were little. Having you as my daughter has been one of the greatest joys of my life. And your mother and I look forward to what the good Lord has in store for Sam and you. And I advise you both to be true to each other, share your joys and your burdens, love much, and laugh much, and do both of those some more.
Oh, that's tough, dude. I wonder if you could have influenced that. If not, that's tricky, man. I guess good job based on terrible lighting scenario.
Hey. You look so beautiful. Why are you laughing?
Because I don't want to cry.
Okay. Wow.
First looks are interesting because people have such different views of how important they are based on their filmmaking style. Like, I would never cover a first look like this. I would never mic them up. I honestly, like, me as a filmmaker, I can't stand first looks. They're fine. Like, they're nice for the day. I like to have them. But in terms of covering them, the amount of times I've covered a first look and I'm like, ugh, that was terrible. But a lot of people really love them. And this is what's interesting about the art form and the craft is, like, there isn't really every wedding day is different, but I think every artist is different. Like, Brandon's making a decision, and his couples probably loved it, to ground this film in this first look, right? Lots like he's not cutting it. He's not cutting away. He's just letting them talk. And, I think that's a good decision for him. And I'll put it in, Chris. We put the first look in. Don't get me wrong. But I try to get away from it as soon as possible. Like, we just put it in. And I'm only psyched about, most people. But like, yeah, in general, I liked the way you grounded this right here, even if it's not what I would choose to do. The fact that you chose to do it, I think it works.
Yes. You look amazing. Sam and Ashley, this is your wedding day. Sharing this.
Okay, let's get to
Sam and Ashley, by your promises before God and in the presence of this assembly, you have joined yourselves to one another. It is my honor to pronounce you husband and wife. Sam, you may kiss the bride.
Ooh, a little juicy for me.
I think tonight is also a celebration for all the things you've already achieved in your relationship. I mean, you guys have done so much. You went through COVID. You guys are homeowners. You guys are dog parents. You guys are godparents. I mean, to Sam and Ashley, congrats again on all you've achieved.
I do not like this song, Brandon. Do not like it.
Up on or hone in on is, as a husband, you should listen to your wife because she's always right. Now, when I think about that, I think it's no problem. I've been doing that since the day Ashley and I met.
There's an audio cut there.
A warm June evening, not unlike this one. We were at Tavern on the Tracks. Ashley walked.
All right, buddy. People want to get to dancing. All right, I want to see how the... Okay, one of these. These can be pretty cool. Let's get to the... All right, so I want to, like I said, what I liked about the film was a lot of good shots, of course, emphasis on, I think, good composition and slowing it down and letting the day just happen. I think the other thing I liked about it was grounded in the people, and I from what I know about your films, that seems to be important to you, and that's important as an artist and to your couples because that's what they bought and that's what you are doing. And so it felt grounded in who they are, and it felt grounded in their family story and what they were doing. For me, there's a couple things that don't work. Mainly that second song. I just don't like it. Well, that's a good drone shot. It just doesn't work for me. But I want to show you something that I think is going to seem like one of the most, not a big deal, but it's something that I talk to my couples about, or my shooters about, and so whatever you do, you, but this is just my opinion. So right here, this shot really is a missed opportunity because, first of all, your horizon is crooked. And you really got to not do that. And second of all, the ground is not interesting. And I always tell people, I'm like, everything above this part of the chair is what's interesting. Nothing below it. No one cares about the seats of the chair. No one cares about the ground, right? So you already established right here that the ceiling is pretty cool, right? And I look at this and go, if you would just take your gimbal, tilt it up, and make the ceiling chandeliers part of that shot and push through even the top of that little arbor thingy, it would be a much more dramatic shot and it would feel much more high end. And I think a lot of people miss this, that the connection between the table and the ceiling is what design is, right? And that's the design aesthetic of what they're doing, is connecting the ceiling to the table. Like they have these chandeliers, they have table design. That is what nice wedding decor is. And so I always use this gimbal push-in shot as an opportunity to connect all the design elements together. You know, in general, I probably would have eschewed even shooting towards the band right there. Yeah, like I probably would have tried to shoot on the end of the table and kind of not this little floral thing. It's cool, but I think it'd be cooler to really show the tent in context and not see these like non-elevated elements. This band, they're not even done setting up. Their crap is over there on the ground. I see your tripod. But if you had to shoot this way, I would have definitely tilted my camera up and probably done like a multi-axis gimbal move where you push and then you show the ceiling. Or maybe you pull back, you start on the ceiling and then kind of tilt down. But I think that would have elevated this shot and I think it would have made it a lot better. Yeah, like this, that's really nice. Put some stabilization on that. And then of course, my thing with and this is a style thing, like I'm just not crazy about some of the color in the film. Some of it feels very underexposed, especially down here at this end sequence. Right there, like that's just so underexposed. Like I feel like you would be better off getting a little bit of a more noisy image and getting a better exposure. Excuse me, I burped. But and then this ending just didn't work for me, and I don't know exactly why, because I felt like it was just kind of dragging and it didn't have the energy of what they were doing didn't match the energy of what was happening with the music. Like you'll hear right here, it's like they're not focused on what they're doing. They're like talking to, like that guy, he's looking at something else. There was no momentum to what they were doing, and I just felt like we should have not seen as much of them like kind of like aimlessly staring, and it just it was just kind of weird, and I don't know what I would have done with it, because like I know how that stuff goes. Yeah, and this is what I'll say. Doc style, I totally get it. I'm wondering if you could have done something different with the edit though, to make it feel either more raw or more grounded, or just it didn't feel intentional. It felt like you were just rolling, and there was stuff in there that maybe yeah, it's not what you covered, by the way. Maybe I would have backed up a little bit or something. I think it's just the way it was included or something. I don't know there, but it didn't like hit the way it could have hit. And the last thing I was going to say is, I don't know if this is intentional, but I really feel like you need lighting. And I tell my team all the time, one time this guy came back and he shot this wedding and it was really bright, but it was backlit. And so his exposure was like really crazy, and you're not in this situation, but it was a daytime wedding. And he was like, oh, I didn't turn my lights on. And I was like, why didn't you turn the lights on? You need to lift those shadow values. Yeah. And so my guess would be, if you like bringing some more level to the lights, I think would have been nice. I feel like a lot of it felt just like kind of direct lit stuff like this. I think just kind of upping your lighting game would help. And I don't know what you're using. It looks like they're torches or something, which get brighter lights. Get brighter lights, and I think the films will feel a lot better. But it's a very good film, and you know that's the thing about like as these are just, some of these are personal critiques. Like I don't even have a critique of the first look. Some people would punt it. I just don't personally gravitate towards them. But like a moment like this is where we get to be different, guys. This is where we all get to have our own style and what we do, and where we get to connect with our couples. And I think like at the end of the day, this is a very successful film. And like, this is a beautiful shot. There's a lot of moments like this that are just connecting. And, you know, if the couple loves it, they love it. Like I said, oh, that's nice too. Very genuine motion, all that stuff. So good stuff, Brandon. Guys, if you're out there and you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe to the channel, means a lot to us. If you would like to have your film reviewed live, then submit the link in the description. And definitely, it's one of those things that we love getting to do. And if you want us to do more kind of tutorial content, editing, things like that, let us know in the comments how we can be helpful. And means a lot to us that you would even check it out. So give us a like, give us a subscribe. We will see you next time here on Wedding Film School Live. Thank you guys so much. Bye.